Okay, I don't want to look at myself while I say this. All right, first of all, let's do the facts. This terror cell never stops. There were terrorists, last night, this morning, it never ends, okay? Boom, boom, boom all night. 3 a.m., boom, under my bed. Hard with whatever the fuck. Okay, I've filmed it. I haven't probably filmed enough of the hard that they're bashing the floor with, but she bashed, I assume it's the female, hard under my bed where that bomb is. So it's not going to stop. It doesn't stop, and I've said that. It's 24 hours a day. I might have to plug my ears. Remember, I'm in a city that's collapsing. I'm going to get to that. So there's a small fraction of the human population. It's the size of the Bronze Era that I have to address because the rest of you are not going to be able to stay on the earth. And there's scientific reasons for that. But you go ahead and deny it. And you go ahead and argue about it until you're dead. I don't care. It's still going to happen. There'll be an amount of them left. Bronze Age. And that's who I'm talking to, because God loves you. All right. You go ahead and argue until you're dead. I don't care. You will. You are Satan. Okay. So the terror cell continued today. My bathroom today was a chemical weapons plant. My bathroom smelled level 5 of a chemical that I could not detect. So intense, I'm not going to sit here and describe and explain anymore because it doesn't stop and no one shuts it down. All right? I know that. It's been proven. This has been years. This is going on and on and on. Okay? The chemical weapons they are making here is outright, open. If you're in here, it's clear as day. And the homicides that occur here are not anymore too quiet, like the one the other day, which I took notes. It doesn't matter because it will not stop and it will not get shut down. And the city of Washington, the population is 100% for this, which is getting to my point. I'm going to speak to the small amount of people who are here, the size of the Bronze Age that will be left. Because you're the only ones whose brains are still functioning and you can understand it critically and analytically think. All right. So, let's get fast positioned there. Okay. So the facts today are the chemical plant in my bathroom. It's just chemical plant. I don't know what else to say, and it should not be always upon me to do that. It's astounding here. The Hispanic, Latino, police, militia was back. That's I don't need to do this because the authorities know who it is. Okay, so I don't need to do that. That was back again on the roof, really loud, a major production. And in and out with vans and different type of cars. I'm not even going to do this. The van that they brought in was so pitiful that they just outright don't care about the chemical weapons they make and the vans and the Wi-Fi tech department to it. It's clear as day. I can't believe I'm witnessing it, and I'm not going to ever let any person tell me that I did not witness an outright police militia fucking terrorist camp with high-tech fucking chemical weapons that was taught to them by Iran. But we'll get to that. So this guy today was Hispanic. He could have easily been a DHS guy. And they come and go however they want to present themselves, saying they're this or that. They're not. He was there for the chemical weapons, Wi-Fi, whatever part of it. It didn't happen This house and me were not supposed to be here. They were trying to blow the house up with me in it today. This is all they do. You have heard them with the IEDs and stuff. They're stuffing and dragging, and I'm done. It's not going to stop. No one's going to stop it here. All right, then. I almost died today in this house through a big bomb. All right, so I have feelings on that. You know I do. When it didn't work, the guy came back, and they did more work. And while that was happening, before, and then when it didn't ignite, and then after, the terrorists were going up and down the stairs managing the weapon in here. As with when I touched the water. So, all right, it's not going to stop or ever end. By the time I leave here, the body count is astounding. They just kill and make bombs here. Now, this is what I'm getting at, and this is a good time to get to my point, which is why I'm filming. Okay, there's a lot of noise here. This town is collapsing. So let me just try to stay focused through this god-awful city. All right, we got helicopters now. I'm not going to shout over those. We're just going to go ahead and wait. The Latino police militia just left, and there's all kinds of fucking paramilitary scumbags running around, and then we still have the 2 terrorists in here that won't leave, and they'll have to leave. Protected by the government here and the Pentagon. Okay. So, this is really hard to keep your train of thought. It's a fucking practical joke and it's a bunch of bullshit. What I was getting at was this. I am not going to help anymore. This is going to be the most beautiful thing I've ever said to Saudi Arabia and the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. There will not be any more locations coming out of me. You're not going to see any more of those. Saudi Arabia is going to know what I'm saying with this, and it's not going to be music to your ears when you connect the dots, if you ever do, Saudi Arabia. Because I quit doing the locations, all of you go. For the last 5 years, those locations have prevented catastrophic war. All of you go, the good and the bad. It's time to die, folks. You will not see any more locations from me. I've done my 5 years. After almost getting blown up in this house today, that was it. That was it. This is really serious, what I witnessed in here today. It's a number 1 behind what I witnessed with the dead bodies in the TVs. And then I've learned after the dead bodies in the TVs that they'll be back to do it again tomorrow. All right, this will not stop. And because of all of that, and the last 5 years in combo, I will stop. And the moment that I stop locating is the moment that you are all on your own. All right? The good and the bad are on their own to have the war that they want. The good didn't want it. Okay, but for 5 years, the good could have done more than they did. Let's plug our ears again. Okay? And for 3 of those 5 years, the good left me in a terrorist cell. A fucking unbelievable one. Okay? Now they're banging on the floor. It won't stop. This won't end here. Because of the good, I didn't get blown up in this house. But I am still in the terrorist cell. And it is still not ever going to end. The only thing that will end this terrorist cell, and that will end it for Saudi Arabia and for Iran, I'm not done, and for Germany, and for the United States, KKK, the white ones, yeah, is for me to stop after 5 years. stop locating. I have been very aware, acutely aware. Those locations primarily, because of the velocity that I have just been spoon feeding everybody, have kept any catastrophic war from occurring. So everybody's still right here. The Saudis, who are guilty of joining with the Iranians, who are guilty of joining with the United States KKK, are all still right here. And so is their terror cell. Because of the lack of action on the special ops, this is the ones I put on the internet. I've put up the Navy SEALs. I've put up the Marines. I've put up the UK. I can't remember the names because I'm so traumatized. And then I started putting up the GRU. So these people are all responsible, along with China and North Korea. Any one of these humans that I have ever supported could have done more in the last 5 years, and we know that. For whatever the reason, they chose not to. Plug our ears. In DC, we do this. This is what you do here. Let's plug. Okay, they chose not to. I never chose to stop or not take action. All I did was spoon feed you locations that prevented catastrophic war for 5 years. Every one of these military people, United States, I don't care what country you're from, Russia, I don't care where, are no longer in my heart or in my mind with me. I am on my own. The very same as the day that you discovered me online. This speaks for Israel too. All right? I am not with you. I am not with the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, nor am I with Putin's renegade Russia fraction. All these neo-Nazi white people. I'm not with any of them. What I'm going to do, and what I'm deliberately doing from here on, after almost blowing up today, I don't care if you saved me through your Wi-Fi. You still have left me in this house, and I will be here tomorrow. And I will be here for God knows how long until I get out on my own in the cab, and that's me surviving every time I walk out of my door. All right then, so today, after this, you don't have to help me. You don't have to keep me from getting blown up. You don't have to keep me from having these criminal terrorist police knock on my door telling me that I'm imagining the chemical plant in my house. You don't got to do any of that. Because I'm not helping you. You pay the biggest cost, and the generals know that. I'm sorry, GRU and UK generals in United States. I'm sorry. But yeah, you are really facing death now. I'm not helping you, any of you anymore. I have to. This has to end. The war has to start. I don't know when. I assume pretty soon, because these white ones and the Arab and white terrorists are really ready to start a war. So you're all facing death. And you can go and search and look as hard as you can for whatever you like, for as long as you're alive to do it. You watched me these last 5 years beg for my life, pray for my life from God, and beg for help, and I never got any of it. A little bit. I can't deny what happened today, but this is not acceptable. So you're going to have the war you want, and all the good and all the bad are going to go big. I pray that the good survive in the numbers, and I pray like a regular war, right? Before someone comes along and starts locating the everything for you for 5 years. A regular war. I pray for you all. I'm not going to help you. And if it's even possible, which I don't think it is, that anybody ever speaks to me, don't ask me for anything. No, do not come and ask me to do anything. All right? I have yet to have a fucking human buy me a cup of coffee. Don't ask me for anything, okay? As far as any sort of alliance, it's over. There is none, and there will never be. The only time I will find closure or healing is when I see catastrophic war and I see the good and the bad. I'm upset. When I start to see, if I live through it too, the good and the bad. This is civilians, this is armies, I don't care who, because this is war. Die. It is your turn to die. It is your turn to get the war you want. There will be no help from me. And you will have war. And you won't know what to do, but actually you will, because, right? Isn't that what you thought war was? Right. You're on your own. Good luck finding everybody. I hope you live doing it. Pray for your lives. Goodbye.